Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive with us.
Mm.
This time, we're going to be tackling something that I know a lot of you out there who are trying to learn English find kind of tricky and puzzling.
Absolutely.
And that is the wonderful world of idioms.
Yes.
Those phrases that make perfect sense to a native speaker, but leave pretty much everybody else scratching their heads.
Yeah, it's like the secret code that's embedded in the language.
Right.
And once you kind of figure out the code, then a whole new level of understanding and fluency is open to you.
It really is. And it's not just about understanding. It's about sounding more natural and really being able to express yourself in a way that's engaging and interesting.
Yeah.
So, for example, you could say something like, it's raining heavily, or you could say it's raining cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Which one kind of paints a more vivid picture?
That's exactly it. The beauty of idioms is that they add color to the language, they add personality, they allow us to express really complex ideas,
Right.
often in a very concise way.
And very often in a humorous way.
We've got some really fantastic sources today, packed with these gems.
Yes.
And we're going to unpack some of the most intriguing ones.
Okay.
So let's start with one that I always found kind of interesting, and that's bite the bullet.
Yes.
I always kind of pictured someone literally biting down on a bullet.
Well, historically, that's exactly what they did.
Really?
This idiom actually comes from the battlefield,
Oh, wow.
where soldiers would have to, bite down on a bullet during surgery
Oh, God.
before anesthesia was commonly available.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine the grit that took?
I mean, talk about a tough situation.
I know.
But we use it a little more figuratively nowadays, right?
We do, precisely. It's that idea of confronting a challenge head on, even if it's unpleasant.
Right. Like when you finally have to face that task that you've been putting off for so long.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, what does it say about us as humans that we use such a painful image to describe kind of facing something difficult? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Maybe it speaks to that resilience of the human spirit,
That
that ability to endure hardship.
maybe. Or it's just this way of acknowledging that there is a discomfort,
Right.
but that we can choose to move forward despite that.
Yeah,
It's fascinating how a simple phrase can hold so much meaning.
absolutely. And speaking of kind of vivid imagery,
Huh.
how about this one? Cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
That one always makes me chuckle.
Of course, because who would literally pay that price?
Right.
But we understand it means something is outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
Our source gives the example of a new iPhone, which many would agree kind of fits the bill these days.
It really does.
But it does make me wonder, do you think this idiom may lose its impact in the future
Right.
as technology becomes more and more affordable?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Maybe future generations will have completely different ways of expressing, exorbitant costs.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe cost of Bitcoin will be the new one.
exactly. Language evolves.
Yeah.
And idioms are a reflection of that.
Right.
But while costs an arm and a leg still resonates, it's a really powerful reminder of the value that we place on things.
Okay, so let's move on to one that's always intrigued me.
Okay.
And that is, let the cat out of the bag. Where did that one even come from?
Well, there are a few theories, but one of the most popular ones points to these medieval markets where they used to sell piglets in bags.
Oh, wow.
And so if a dishonest merchant were to swap a piglet for a less valuable cat, letting the cat out of the bag would expose that deception.
So it's all about revealing a secret, often unintentionally.
Often, yeah.
The example that our source gives is somebody spilling the beans about a surprise party.
Yeah.
That's a way to ruin the fun for sure.
It is. It does highlight the importance of discretion and how easily a secret can be exposed.
Yeah.
It also makes you think, though, do you think sometimes letting the cat out of the bag could be a good thing?
Interesting.
What if that secret was causing harm or injustice?
Well, now that's a thought-provoking twist.
Isn't it?
It challenges that assumption that keeping secrets is always the right thing to do.
Precisely. And that's what I think makes idioms so fascinating, is they're not just about the literal meaning of the words, but they're about these stories and values that they represent.
Yeah.
And it's really fascinating to kind of dig into that.
I agree completely. We've been exploring all these colorful phrases, and they paint these really vivid pictures in our minds.
Yes.
But I'm curious, is there actually a difference between an idiom and a metaphor? because they seem to kind of overlap sometimes.
That's a great observation. And you're right, there are similarities.
Mm.
Both metaphors and idioms use this figurative language,
Yeah.
but metaphors tend to be more direct comparisons.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you say life is a journey, that's a metaphor.
Okay. So then an idiom would be something like throw in the towel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Throw in the towel is a perfect example of an idiom because who actually throws in a towel to signify giving up?
Right.
It comes from boxing,
Oh.
where a fighter's corner would literally throw a towel into the ring to stop the fight.
I see.
So it's this phrase with a fixed meaning that's different from the literal meaning of the word.
And our source gives the example of someone throwing in the towel after failing their driving exam multiple times. I can definitely relate to that feeling of defeat.
Oh, absolutely.
But it makes you wonder, though, is giving up always a bad thing?
Well, that's the beauty of exploring idioms. Kind of forces us to think a little bit more critically.
Yeah.
Sometimes throwing in the towel can actually be a sign of wisdom.
Okay.
You know, a sign that it's time to redirect your energy.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk about another one that I always loved, and that is the ball is in your court. It just sounds so, decisive and empowering.
It's a really powerful way to communicate that the next move is someone else's responsibility. Our source uses the example of a business negotiation,
Right.
but I think it applies to personal relationships too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, I can imagine saying, I've apologized.
Yeah,
The ball is in your court now.
exactly.
It just kind of sets a clear boundary and you avoid that endless back and forth.
Absolutely. It's about establishing accountability.
Mm.
And speaking of taking action,
Yeah.
let's talk about go the extra mile.
Ooh. I like that one.
That one always makes me think of people who go above and beyond,
Yeah.
exceeding expectations.
The example our source gives is, someone going the extra mile to help a customer,
Yes.
which is fantastic.
Right.
But I do wonder, is there a downside to always striving to do more? I mean, can we burn ourselves out?
That's an important consideration.
Yeah.
Burn the midnight oil certainly comes to mind.
Ah, yes, the idiom for all-nighters. I've definitely burned the midnight oil a few times in my life.
Yeah.
Usually fueled by coffee and deadlines. But it is interesting how we associate this positive act of, hard work
Yeah,
with something that could potentially be detrimental, like burning ourselves out.
that's true.
Maybe it's just a reminder that even dedication needs balance.
Yeah.
Speaking of balance, I think we need to hit the sack soon and get some rest.
I agree.
Hit the sack.
It's fascinating how even a simple idiom like hit the sack for going to sleep
Right.
has this history behind it. The sack refers to straw mattresses
Oh, wow.
that were commonly used in the past.
Yeah, it is funny how these phrases become so ingrained in our language that we don't even really think about their origins anymore.
That's right.
But we do need to wrap up this part of our deep dive for today.
Okay.
What else do our sources have for us?
Well, there's a whole treasure trove of idioms waiting to be explored.
Oh.
Why don't we take a short break
Oh.
and then we'll delve into some tips on how to actually start using these fascinating phrases in your everyday life.
Okay, so we've uncovered the meaning and the history behind all these fascinating idioms. But, knowing them is one thing.
Right.
Actually using them is a whole other ballgame.
Yeah.
So do you have any tips for our listeners out there?
Sure.
On how to actually make these phrases part of their everyday English?
Absolutely. Our sources actually offer some really practical advice on this.
Okay.
One of the most effective strategies is to immerse yourself in the language.
So, like, binge watching my favorite shows does count as studying.
Well,
I knew.
there you go.
But seriously, like, what does that actually look like?
So it's about actively listening for idioms
Okay.
in movies, in TV shows, in podcasts, even music. Pay attention to how native speakers use them naturally in conversation, and you'll start to pick up on the nuances and the rhythms.
It's like training your ear to recognize those patterns.
Exactly.
But what about actually using them? Because it can feel a little intimidating at first.
Our sources recommend starting small. Try incorporating 1 or 2 new idioms into your writing each day, even if it's just in a journal or in casual emails.
Okay, that's a good idea. It's low pressure. You can build up your confidence.
And then once you feel comfortable, you can start sprinkling them into your spoken English.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself to use at least one idiom that we've talked about today in a conversation this week. The key is to not be afraid to experiment and have fun with it.
Yeah, that's a challenge I think I'm willing to accept.
Good.
It's like a game, you know, trying to find those opportunities to slip in a bite the bullet or let the cat out of the bag.
Exactly. And remember, even native speakers don't use every single idiom out there.
Right.
The goal is to find the ones that resonate with you and that fit your own personal communication style.
So it's not about memorizing a dictionary full of idioms.
No.
It's about finding the ones that feel natural and that help you express yourself.
Exactly. If we kind of zoom out and look at the bigger picture here,
Yeah.
mastering idioms is about so much more than just vocabulary. It's about developing a deeper understanding of culture and the nuances of human communication.
It's like unlocking that secret code that allows you to connect with native speakers on a much deeper level.
Absolutely.
And who knows, you might even impress them with your newfound idiom mastery.
That's right. As a final thought, I'd like to leave you with this question.
Okay.
Why do you think idioms, despite their often illogical nature, are so effective in communication? What is it about these colorful phrases that make them stick in our minds
Right.
and add this depth to our language?
That is definitely something to ponder
Yes.
as we continue our journey into this fascinating world of English idioms.
Absolutely.
You know, language is this living, breathing thing. And idioms are a true testament to its creativity and evolution.
They are.
So embrace the challenge, have fun, and keep those idioms flowing.
I love it.